I understand sometimes the critics don't appreciate what you do in KISS.
That's good. The more critics don't like us, the more the fans like us.
Yeah? Is there really a connection between those two?
I think so. I think that fans can inherently spot when you're honest about something. When you try to foist something on the public, it may work for a year, it may work for 6 months, but people instinctively know when you're honest about what it is you're doing. It may not be popular with the critics, but people don't like, people don't really care what it is that critics tell them they should like. From movies, I know Star Wars all over America was panned, that it was childish and it wasn't serious, but people don't care about that. They want good entertainment.
But if you're honest, wouldn't it be wonderful if you had both the audience and the critics? The love of both?
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah. Because critics are also people.
But they're not so important for you.
No, but the critics that I don't care about are the critics who consider themselves more than people, who consider themselves, quote, above the people,
gods?
Holier than thou. In other words, that they know a little bit more, and let me educate the masses, that sort of attitude. The holier than thou attitude doesn't work with me. If a critic is a person, I would love to have him enjoy the show as much as everybody else. But sometimes critics are like magicians. Sometimes magicians can't appreciate other magicians because they know too much. You don't appreciate the magic.
Excuse me, let me ask you another thing. What emotions do you like to provoke? I mean, what feelings would you like to see the audience have when they leave your concert?
I would be proud if you let us do the show and then you take your girlfriend home and you do the encores with them. I would love it if you get aroused, if your heart beats faster, if you sweat, if you forget about the traffic jam outside, if you forget that your parents or your teachers or your boss is giving you a hard time for 3 hours. If you forget about that stuff, then we've done our job. I go to soccer games and football matches for the same reason. I don't know that it means anything more than it makes you forget about your... It's a legal high. It makes you forget about your problems.
Yeah, people say that you are, violent, that you are provocative, that you have Nazi symbols and stuff like that, in spite of the fact that you are Jewish.
There's something strange in there, don't you think?
Yeah, yes, it is. I mean, how come? How come they get... I mean, you want to provoke people, don't you?
Sure.
Why?
In the same way that Beethoven... Yes, I read books.
Yes.
In the same way that Beethoven, when he saw the apathy that existed in his time, decided to write music that wasn't Baroque and oriented. So he came out with da-da-da-da, so that people would wake up.
Yeah. Because
an audience that doesn't get either aroused or doesn't have their heart pumping more, then you as a performer have not done your job.
But why do you have a tank on the stage, Gene?
We're big boys and we like big toys.
Is that the answer?
I mean, what is it? Do you think we want to go to war with somebody?
I don't know. To me, it looks like a part of the U.S. Army, parade on the 4th of July. But it's not what you have in mind, obviously.
It's interesting that you pointed that out, because when I see a parade, I don't necessarily think of any military this or military that. But the truth is, if we've done anything to people, it's make them happy, tank or no tank. And we use all kinds of symbols that can be construed as, we use explosives during the shows. Incidentally, there are certain rules in this country that prevent us from doing the explosions, but in the U.S. tour, the tank actually fires and blows up part of the sound system, and we've got explosions all over the stage. Now, who in their right mind is pro-war?
Sure, and that's why it's so, confusing. But
I don't think it's confusing. It's not confusing to the fans.
Is that true?
Incidentally, why are you wearing more makeup than I am?